All right, welcome to the Hour of Power radio show. I'm Ryan, and here are Mike and Matt.
Yeah, it was. I'm not supposed to be warm again. If the days keep getting hotter like this, I'm gonna have to definitely cool my beer down. I'm gonna work. Figure out some way to do it. I didn't know what to know. I know, because you can't really take it into work and put it in the refrigerator. That's true.
If only there was a space for beer here, where you guys could bring beer and store it for a while.
That would be smart.
That would be
It'd probably be
amazing.
cheaper for us too.
Welcome everybody to the Hour of Power radio show. We're going to be talking today. We're going to be going over some sports. We're going to be talking about, we're going to start filling out our bracket for the next hot girl off. We're going to do some Would You Rather. And we're going to do some other fun stuff. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can, we're on the chat on Ustream. You can chat us up there. You can email us to hourofpowershow@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know that you're out there. Yeah, and you can also get in touch with us on Facebook and anything else that you might enjoy. But to start off with, before we get into all the sports, I normally try to bring up some kind of superhero news, but there wasn't much. So how about let's go with the Lone Ranger. Armie Hammer, which awesome name,
Yeah.
was cast in the role opposite Johnny Depp as Tonto in the Lone Ranger. So he was the one that was in Social Network. I think he played the two brothers, the twins.
Right, I think so, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a picture of him. What do you think? What do you think? Did you ever watch the Lone Ranger?
I know nothing about the Lone Ranger.
Nothing about the Lone Ranger.
Other than there's Tonto, and Tonto means what, dumb in Spanish? Or yeah, Tonto means dumb in Spanish.
And he always called the Lone Ranger Kimosabi.
Yeah.
So, well, I watched the show a little bit as a kid. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention while we were drinking. I watched the show a little bit as a kid. It was always a lot of fun. It was definitely it was a Western, which was cool. But it was one of those shows that it was almost kind of to the Adam West Batman level, where it's like you knew it was for kids, but it wasn't that far.
What's Tonto's superpower?
Tonto doesn't have a superpower. He's just an Indian.
Doesn't he get?
I think he has super tracking skills.
Didn't he like grow and get like 4 times as big or something like that? Because Tonto in Spanish means so much or so many.
I thought Tonto meant dumb. Are we sure?
Can I start calling you my Tonto? Because that would be nice. So anyways, it was definitely a kind of a kid show, but I think Alice liked it a lot too. So it turned out to be a lot of fun. So he looks cool. I mean, I think he's pretty
Silly,
well
foolish,
built.
stupid is what I got.
Which translator are you using? Are you using Google Translate?
Are you spelling Tonto?
SpanishDictionary.com.
Google says silly, foolish, stupid.
While we're discussing this Tonto business, I also want to mention that we're going to be taking a drink of beer every minute for the next about 60 minutes. So feel free to play along with us. And maybe we should actually start getting into a little sports now.
All right. Because
Unless we want to continue talking about the origins of Tonto.
No, however, I do want to backtrack to our original conversation about bringing beer to work. Somebody at my work, every now and then, they'll bring lunch in a liquor bag store.
Nice.
How awesome is that?
That's pretty
Or
awesome.
how, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it's like, really? Really? You're just going to go ahead and flaunt that out there, that you have enough liquor bag stores to bring your lunch in?
You know, on last Friday, we went out to lunch, and I had a beer while I was at lunch. And, yeah, I didn't really want to go back to work too much after that.
I can imagine.
I wanted to kind of just stay there and have a whole lot more.
Or, okay, so,
Nice. Good
right.
catch.
Oh, I had a beef steak on my way over. I'm sure that smells lovely. All right.
Oh, where did you get it from? Was it at the gas station where you got your beer?
No, it was at Winco.
Oh, okay. Because there's this one time I was going over to my EMT class, and I stopped, and I got a burrito from a gas station. It was called, like, the Big One or something like that. And it was this huge thing about, so long. So, small compared to me. And so I think you were supposed to microwave it. but I didn't. So I ate it cold, and it was a gas station burrito that looked like crap. And I think I might have had diarrhea for the next 12 months.
Nice. You are one classy bastard.
I try to be.
All right, so
So I guess one of the big things that just happened, besides all the playoffs, what was that?
No, I'm trying to look up Tonto
We
on
are
a bunch of
recording,
different
right?
language things, and everyone that I look at.
how are you spelling it?
T-A-N-T-O?
T-O-N-T-O. Aha.
So we have a lot of playoffs going on right now in sports. We have the beginning of baseball. Well, I guess it's getting close to the middle of baseball.
Right.
July will be the middle.
We're actually just about 1 quarter in.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good. But one of the big things that just happened was last night was the draft lottery for the NBA, where they put all of the teams' names in the ping pong ball twirler.
Basically,
Twirl
they
around.
borrow Powerball's little spinny thingy and
Exactly. And so if you are the worst team in the league, you get the most ping pong balls in the twirler. If you're better, you don't get that many. So the first pick, I believe it was the first pick, would have gone to the Los Angeles Clippers, correct? Or was it the fourth one?
The first one would have gone to the Clippers. If they
So the
had
first
done that
one
trade.
would have gone to the Clippers, but they traded over to Cleveland. Cleveland then comes up with the fourth pick in the draft. So they're going to have the number 1 and the number 4 pick. What are your thoughts on that? That was very good of them.
Rigged. Cleveland bitched too much last year, and obviously, David Stern's like, all right, we need to stop this. It's bad for the game, or bad for the NBA if LeBron has a negative image. We need to finish this. So they rig it. Cleveland gets 2 of the top 4 picks, including the number 1 pick. They're gonna have some good young talent, and hopefully this will stop Cleveland from bitching. But of course it won't, because they still want to hate LeBron.
Well, because on the Drew Carey show there was a song Cleveland Rocks, but what it's turned out more to be is Cleveland Bitches.
Yes, this is true.
So now, I mentioned this in football before, and I think it's even more important in basketball. Do you think that they will go for 2 players who played on the same team, such like maybe 2 Duke players or something like that? Are there 2 Dukes coming out this year?
There's Kyrie Irving, who's probably going to be the number 1 pick,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Kyle Singler, but Kyle Singler's more of a bottom of the first round type of guy. The only team that could really swing it would be Texas, but that'd still be a pretty big stretch for both of them. They're more of, the 8 to 15 type players. So.
But do you think that the chemistry that they already have would kind of maybe bump up the other guy from Duke a little bit? Maybe not to the 4 spot, but do you think maybe they would consider trading down a little bit to maybe get him? Or do you think it's not that important?
Well, for most college players, they spend only 1 year in college anyways. Or, like in the Duke case, Kyrie Irving only played 1 year, and he only played half of the year that he played in because he had an injured toe. And so even though Kyle Singler was at Duke for 4 years, Kyrie Irving was only there for basically half season. So the chemistry is almost non-existent because they played, all of 17, 18 games together.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, the same way for Texas, a lot of the big programs, they only, have a player for 1 year and then they're gone. And so I don't think it would be that big of an issue. Plus, I mean, they're going to probably be in slightly different roles than they were in college anyway. So it's not like, if they had this great pick and roll tandem like, Malone and Stockton, that's not necessarily going to translate from the college level all up to the NBA level, just because they're going to have slightly different roles depending on which team they go to.
I feel that was why I was not drafted when I came out of college. I feel that, my chemistry wasn't right, and I just would have dropped too far in the round. That's why I didn't even put my name in. I mean, that's how much confidence I had in that.
Yeah, that's probably a good part or a good job on your end. I know that they were telling you may be a lottery pick, but I'm glad that resisted temptation.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I was going to be right up there with LeBron when he came out. I mean, I was slated to be there. I decided to go to college, and that was the problem. That was a very soft ring.
That was a very soft.
Kind of makes me want to go to sleep now.
All
All right.
my touch.
So there we go. Going on to the games that we have in the West, we have Dallas and Oklahoma City.
They played last night. Oklahoma City lost Dallas by, I think, 10 points, 122 to 112. Nowitzki went off. In fact, he probably had one of the most efficient playoff games ever. I believe he was something like 14 for 18 and scored 48 points, and he was 24 for 24 from the free throw stripe. So, I mean, he shot 38 shots total, got 48 points, only missed 4 shots.
Wow.
Or wait, sorry, not. He shot 42 shots, my bad. But still only missed 4 shots. Basically shot 90% on the day and scored 50 points. Absolutely lit up Oklahoma City. It's pretty impressive. And Durant, meanwhile, still scored 40, and he was, completely disregarded.
Oh, I know. Isn't that crazy how it works like that? I mean, it's just, I think Dallas just has a few better pieces to go around Nowitzki. But, I mean, I think this Oklahoma team is young, and I think they'll be around for a while.
They've got 2 great young players in Westbrook and Durant, so it'll be fun to watch them for quite a few years, unless they, of course, become the next version of Malone and Stockton and don't actually end up winning anything.
That's true. Over in the East, we have Miami and Chicago. Chicago is up 1-0, and when we get back from a quick commercial break, I'll see what your thoughts are on that one. I think it was a good first game that they had, and I think that and I think Derrick Rose played really great in that game, if I remember correctly. So we'll talk more about that when we get back. Let's get on to all of our other fun stuff. So stick around. We'll be right back.